Hey, all right. So I want to do a quick rambling on a on a couple of subjects we talked to before. First of all, this is really geared towards people who are kind of new to the Jedi path, or kind of to the community in general. Just the sense of, if this is really where you're coming into it, being like, you know what, I really want to live my life I want to live my life as a Jedi, but obviously realistically, right? Not with robes, lightsabers, and force powers, but to take the philosophy and live by it in everyday life. I think that would be a beneficial and positive way to live. If this is something that you're just getting into, or really, I guess, maybe you thought about it before, and kind of the inspiration's been there, and you've always looked at it, and you've always liked the Jedi, and you've always kind of applied some of the principles, maybe like patience, diplomacy, talking things out, conflict resolution before, aggressive negotiations, if you will. If you've kind of come into it, then I did want to kind of touch on a subject. We touched on it before. So Jedi have a lot of rules, right? They have a pretty defined path. You have the Jedi code, of course, but that's pretty open. It's a mantra. It's there for reflection and interpretation and digging into it and understanding how that relates to not only yourself, but the path and how that applies to life. Okay, and then you have the Jedi Circle that we're currently doing a little video lecture on. And we're going through that, and that's kind of just how we live in everyday life. It's a general guideline, practices, things that we focus on, tenets, things of that nature. But then we also have the Jedi rules of behavior, which, depending on what version you go with, can be around 22 to 25 rules on how a Jedi lives and interacts in daily life. And these are pretty simple things, pretty well-known things, kind of like overcome aggression, overcome arrogance, overconfidence. And it's kind of those elements that define. The reason I bring that up is I was reminded of a Doctor Who quote a few years back, and in it the Doctor says, "Good men don't need rules. Now's not a good time to find out why I have so many." Struck a chord with me. I like it. I liked it. It's pretty good one. But that's the thing with Jedi. Look, we all come into the path. We're not like Star Wars Jedi, right? We didn't have a temple and a nice temple and Jedi environment that was sheltered and allowed us to grow up in a very nurturing environment. Some of us have had homes that maybe could equate, right? But even outside of that, right, you still have to deal with the world. You still had to go to school. You still had to go to college or work or whatever. You went out and you had your social life, and you still had to deal with the world, and that tends to help us face the tougher situations in life. Kind of unavoidable, right? Like, we've all gone through some stuff, and we've all had to face some tough times. If you wanted to be poetic, you could say dark times or darkness within or whatever. Point is that we've all had to kind of face the ups and downs of life, and we've all had struggles and challenges, and we didn't have that environment. We didn't have the temple that kept us away from that until we had developed and matured to a certain level that they felt we could go out and face it under the guidance of someone who's been there and done it for years. We didn't have that. So if you're coming new into the Jedi path and you're like, but I'm not a saint, I'm not light side, I'm not perfect, I'm not, no one is. All right. None of us grew up that way. No one's born a Jedi. No one, just recently, one of the online organizations was kind of working out things and setting up codes of conduct, and they're like, well, you're not allowed to have this, and you're not allowed to have that, and kind of thing. And it's fine up to a point until it gets a little too crazy, right? And then it mentioned something where I was like, that disqualifies me. And like, well, how is that? They come to me and I was like, I wasn't always a Jedi, right? I may have been doing this for quite some time, but there are plenty of moments in my life where I was not walking the path. There were moments where I was just not a Jedi, that I lived a life. And there are times where I thought I was a Jedi, right? But it was a misunderstanding of the path and how I was supposed to relate. And a lot of that comes in my younger, like teenage years, that I was running with a certain crowd of people. And I thought that's where a Jedi would best be served. It's not really how it works. But of course, kind of took a different path. And it took a detour for a bit due to that, thinking. But yeah, no one's born a Jedi. No one's automatically a Jedi. No one's just the light. No one's the avatar of the light side, okay? No one's perfect. Everybody has their challenges and everybody has their darkness that they have to face. We did a post today on Jedi Living, all the little social media stuff, talking about that you have to face your demons, right? You have to face yourself. You have to face the things inside yourself. You can't turn a blind eye to it. Otherwise, they will build up. It will build up inside, and you will be blindsided by it. You have to know yourself. You have to really look at yourself, and you have to as a Jedi. And this is all as a Jedi. If you're not a Jedi, don't worry about it. Do whatever you want. But for those that are looking to become Jedi, when you go along the path, you do have to look within, and you do have to face yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to look at the areas that you'd probably rather not. And you have to accept and come to terms with not only yourself, but your past and where you are and where you want to go. And because that's going to directly affect what happens in the future. So you definitely want to do that. And you need to do that in the Jedi path. It's kind of a requirement. But in a recent conversation, again, with that, so first of all, yeah, not everybody's a Jedi, right? So not everybody's perfect, and everybody has challenges. Everybody has something that they faced, or multiple somethings in some people's cases. Everybody has challenges that they face daily. Well, not everybody has daily challenges, but a lot of Jedi have challenges that they face daily, and that could just be social anxiety, or it could be something even bigger. It could be post-traumatic stress from really horrific events, or some. There's a long variety. The world's a pretty big place. There's a lot of ways to earn some demons, if you will. But the point of the path is to kind of face it and overcome it, and to grow. I don't mean to say overcome it. To grow from it. Not to carry it around, right? It's not something to carry around. It's not Yoda on your back. I think I've said this before, but it's not Yoda on your back. Your darkness is not your teacher, okay? It's not your Jedi mentor on your back. Your past mistakes are not your Jedi mentor on your back, harping at you. Those are not the lessons. The darkness is not the lessons. The challenges are not the lessons. Those are things that you take, you learn from, and you set them down, and they're stepping stones. They're not meant to be carried around. Okay, the past, whatever you want to call it, is meant to be learned from, set down, so you can continue on your way. That's what it is. It is a foundation stone. It is something to help you build, whoever you are looking to become. So don't carry it around if you're new to the Jedi path, and don't think it disqualifies you from being a Jedi. Okay, don't think just because you're not perfect, or you're not like, oh, I've done things, or I struggle with stuff, or there's plenty I'm not proud of, or I have demons, or whatever thing you want to put out there, that doesn't stop you from being who you want to be. If you want to be a Jedi, you can be a Jedi. That I promise. I have seen there are great Jedi out there who have overcome horrific things. So it's not impossible. It doesn't disqualify you. And it doesn't make you like a gray Jedi, right? There's no need to be like, well, I have this, and I have this chip on my shoulder. I have this anger. So I'm not a Jedi. I'm a gray Jedi. Well, no. Do you want to be, because the question is there, do you want to be a Jedi? Do you want to be a Jedi to where that chip gets off? That you can dust it off your shoulder, that you can be like, yeah, I had anger issues, but now I'm a much more calm, rational person who's developed emotional stability, where I feel anger, but it does not automatically affect my actions or my decision making, and I understand where that anger comes from. I understand what triggers that. If that's a yes, then you're a Jedi. You're a Jedi in training. You're a Jedi starting out. You're a Jedi. You're not a knight. You're not a master. If you're dealing with these things, then yeah, you're still in the process of growing. You're still in the process of becoming a Jedi. But it doesn't disqualify you from being a Jedi. So you don't have to kind of segregate yourself, and you don't have to chop yourself off. I understand that you may have honor and respect and kind of put the Jedi name sort of on a pedestal, where you feel, no, that's something to be achieved. But knight is to be achieved, if that's how you want to look at it. Jedi is what you do. Okay, it's not a title to be earned. Jedi is what you do in your daily life. And yeah, you're going to make mistakes. And yeah, it's not going to be easy. And no, you're not going to start off and be a Jedi from day one. It's a process. It takes time. But you can get to that level. So that's my message to new Jedi, man. Don't think that don't automatically disqualify yourself. Don't automatically think that because you're dealing with some darkness, or that you've had some things in your past that you are proud of, that you will automatically be disqualified. As I said, I have a past. I wasn't always a Jedi. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to keep this video short by not sharing all that nonsense with you. But we do all good Jedi too, No, nothing gory means no glory, to quote Watsky. It's just kind of how it is, it's a process, and there's pitfalls, and there's stumbling stones, and there's areas where we trip and fall flat on our face in the mud, and that's okay. So don't think that, and don't automatically disqualify yourself. If you really want to be a Jedi, if you want to live this lifestyle, if you're like, you know what, I want to be a Jedi. I want to feel the Force. I want to have that confidence, but not overconfidence. I want to have that empathy, but not be ruled by emotion. If I want, if you want to kind of, I don't know, I ran out of things, but emotion yet peace. If you want to go that way. Ignorance yet knowledge, and go down the whole Jedi code if we need to. But if that's kind of like the way you want to go, then do it. You can. There's nothing holding you back but you. You're the only one that can say yay or nay. Don't try to segregate yourself from the Jedi with like gray Jedi or red Jedi or dark Jedi or shadow Jedi or any of that. Just accept it. Accept the responsibility of it, It's scary. I can understand that, but put the Jedi title on. Say, this is the lifestyle I want to live. So this is the lifestyle I'm going to live. And you're going to fail, and that's fine. And you'll progress and learn. You don't carry that around. Don't carry the failure around with you. Failure is not Yoda. You are not Luke and Dagobah. Do not carry it around. Set it down, step on it, get to the next level. That's what it's there for. Okay. So yeah, that's my message. That's basically it. That's what I really wanted to say, because in a recent conversation, someone had mentioned why they wanted the gray Jedi label, and they did feel because they weren't a Jedi, they had that darkness, right? And it was a product of how they grew up and kind of the environment they grew up in. And through our conversation, we got to a point to understanding that Jedi is a lifestyle, and it's kind of the things you do daily and the things you look to do, like the 5 goals of the Jedi, and that it is progressive, and that it is something that develops over time. This is why we do eventually recognize people as Jedi Knights, you know, because it is saying, no, look how far you've come as a Jedi. You've been, you know, slowly getting there. And it took a while. It took me something like 20 years. Okay. So it can take a while. But then again, you know, I was starting at scratch. So I didn't have videos and all this cool, fun stuff, and someone else yakking at me and boring me to death with YouTube videos. But anyways, point being, so don't sell yourself short. Don't discount yourself. If you want to be a Jedi, you can be. It's possible. It's not like the movies. It's got its own challenges. It's got its own, you know, rewards as well. Those really aren't robes and lightsabers. You know, go charity event, going to Star Wars premiere, going to movie theaters dressed up as a Jedi. Sure. Except the theater I'm going to doesn't allow lightsabers. No lightsabers and no masks, which sucks. No not even Darth Vader masks. It's, I mean, I get it, right? You know, you don't want to, you know, they're worried about the area it's at. They're worried about, you know, people misusing that, but still, you know, kind of sad that those kind of precautions need to be taken. Anyways, you can wear your robes. So I'm definitely going in robes, and I'm getting totally off track here. So I'm going to end the video. And yeah, if you want to be a Jedi, be a Jedi. Don't carry crap around with you. You're gonna have to face and accept it. We cover that in these videos. And, you know, we have message boards and websites and social media. So if you want to, you know, pick our brains on how exactly that's done, feel free to do so. And, you know, comments below, whatever, you know, feel free to engage. But yeah, that was the thing. It was just a rambling I had in my head, wanted to get it out there. So thank you for watching.